Contrary to what some will have you believe, this isn't a spaceship. It doesn't have spaceship controls or even spaceship-type technology. That's because it's a car. In fact, all the spaceship-like stuff you read about has actually all been done before. Take this carbon core, for instance. It is lighter and it is stronger, but it's nothing new because BMW have been using lightweight carbon in their cars since 2013 with the i3. You get variable air suspension, which is good as standard, but it's not revolutionary because the first time that was done was in 1958. You can do things with your hands inside the car using gesture control, which is a first for a car. But is it really that revolutionary? Because, well, we had that on an old Xbox. With all that in mind, what is so special about the 7 Series and why is everyone raving about it? Let's have a closer look. For me, the BMW 7 Series has always been an amazing car. It's where BMW show off all of their technology. All of their good stuff goes in one of these first. One of my favourite cars of all time has to be the F01. It's a code name for the one just before this. And the reason that's relevant is that I'm wondering how good this new one can actually be. Whilst the old one did drive very nicely, it was quite ugly from the front. This one isn't. It's radically different and will no longer be the car driven by the oldest man in your road. Now, perhaps, the smartest one. So this is the 730D MSport, 265 horsepower with 620 Newton meters of torque, which is a lot because this almost feels low down, nearly as fast as the outgoing 535. In fact, I prefer driving this to that. BMW have saved 200 kilos on the old one, making it the lightest in class, which adds to why when you drive it, you'll find an awful lot to like. And my two favourite things are firstly the power, because that is really impressive, and secondly the variable steering, because now it's so much lighter than the last 7 Series to sort of throw around. Not that you would, but to know you can is great. This is remarkably sporty. In fact, I think if you're hoping for a car that drives like the old one, you're going to be disappointed. There is one other thing too. The old one was quieter by quite a long way. Right then, on to some numbers. Now firstly, the insurance on the 7 Series is more than I thought it would ever be. I was very surprised. You might want to check that out for yourself. The road tax is good. You get that for £110 and you don't have to pay for any servicing because the BMW 7 comes with a service pack. And you also get 38 miles to the gallon, which is more economical than some small cheap cars. What you don't get that some small cheap cars do have is things like auto cruise, auto lane keeping assist and automatic city braking. So confused about that, I took a wrong turn. Right, so I am now lost, which is a good opportunity for me to do a 3-point turn and show you the surround camera. So when you go into reverse, you get two screens. You get an overview screen and a rear or front camera, so you can see what's going on, like a bird's eye thing. But also, if I just pull over for a second, what you get now is a front facing camera, and if you turn the wheel you can see round corners, which is really nice. Then on the left hand side you can either use the iDrive to select one of these cameras, so you can touch or select one to look. So if I want to look out the back, for example, that's the back, and using a gesture I can then look around the whole car. Here in the back there is not quite as much room as I'd have thought. These seats are quite small, but you do get a lot of movement with these seats. So for example, I can have a massage in here, and I can even move this seat forward using, oh no, I'm reclining myself. Is it that one? It's one of them. Oh yeah, press 2. You press 2 and then that seat goes forward. Look at that. So then, lighter, leaner and stronger. A beautifully crafted world on the inside, and one of the nicest looking cars BMW make on the outside. And you also get your own butler.
Hi, Mr. Ritchie. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I need to get an address sent to my car, if you could, please.
Okay, where would you like to go today?
BBC Television Centre, London.
That's fine.
Oh, they're constantly asking me, will I come and do a car show? New text message to John Smith. Hi, John, I'm going to be late.
Your message to John Smith says, Hi, John, I'm going to be late. Ready to send it?
Yep. So right now I'm in adaptive mode, which is where the car is automatically setting itself up based on my driving style. So unlike the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, which has magic body control, this does it all automatically. That uses cameras. This uses input from things like the throttle or my steering or even the indicator, and it's very clever. On a long journey you'll notice it because one minute it's soft and pliable, the next it's really sporty. That's clever, and so are the gesture controls, because you'll use those more than you think.
And so that was very nearly the end of my film. But there was something else. Something I thought I might not have covered. And I was losing sunlight. So I decided to head to a local hut to review my notes. And it was at that point I realized I was right. You see, the 7 Series during the day is just a car. But at night, it transforms into something else. It's at this time when the world's gone quiet and everyone else is asleep that your senses heighten and you really get the understanding how special this car is to live with. It doesn't just transport you, it gets you involved and immerses you. And so if you're thinking about leasing one, you should know this is more than the Rolls-Royce inspired Sky Lounge smoothness, or the customization of your connected drive, the head-up display, or the fact that you can park it with a key. This is a first-class driving thing, and one of my favorite cars in the whole world. In actual fact, it's a bit like a spaceship.